Over my dead body, will I allow you to be a mechanic? You must go to school and become a doctor.
Papa, I want to learn this work. I want to be a mechanic. I want to repair cars.
It was on a Friday. A big man from the city with a black jeep and a gold wristwatch drove into the village. His car broke down on the way to a funeral. The whole village gathered, shouting, "Call Deli! Call Deli!" But Deli was not around. He had traveled for a burial in the next town. The man was angry. "My time is going. I have to get to Umoma by 3 p.m. Where is your mechanic?" Someone whispered, "Maybe his small girl apprentice can try." "Who?" "Ada." Another laughed. "That small girl." But Ada was already walking to the car, slowly. Calmly, she opened the bonnet, looked inside, and then, she did something no one expected. She removed the tiny wire near the battery, she cleaned it with sandpaper, she checked the fuse box, she tapped a part of the engine gently, then she turned to the man. "Try to start it now, sir." The man frowned. "You? Are you playing with me?" "Just try, sir." The man entered the car, cray. The engine came to life, everyone shouted, women clapped, children ran around, old men nodded their heads like judges in a competition. The big man came down, shocked. "Who trained you?" Ada pointed quietly to Deli's shed. Then the man brought out 5,000 Nigerian nairas and placed it in Ada's hand. "You're going far, young girl. Never let anyone stop you." But when Ada got home that evening, with her oily black hands and 5,000 Nigerian nairas in her pocket, she met something unexpected waiting for her, her father, and this time, he was holding a cane. The cane was waiting before she knocked on the door. Ada stood outside for a moment, holding the 5,000 Nigerian nairas note in her oily hand. Her heart was beating, her blouse was soaked with sweat and engine oil. Her eyes were tired, her fingers had cuts and bruises, but her smile was still there. She had fixed the big man's car all by himself. The man called her girl genius. People clapped, some even gave her pure water and biscuits. She felt proud, but as she stepped into the compound, the atmosphere changed. Darkness had fallen, the kerosene lamp was on, and her father was sitting on a wooden chair, with a cane on his lap. "Where are you coming from, Ada?" her father asked, slowly. Her mother was standing at the door. Her eyes were red from crying. Ada looked down. I was at the shed." The cane tapped the floor twice, then again. "So after everything we discussed, you still disobeyed me? You've turned to a vagabond now." "Papa, I fixed the car today." "A big man's car." "Shut up." Her father stood. "Car? That's what you're proud of? When other children are winning prizes in school, you're fixing cars like a common apprentice." "Papa, kneel." Ada blinked. She was hoping the money in her hand would change her father's mood, but no. The man didn't even look at it. "Kneel now, before I lose my temper." Ada slowly knelt to the ground. Her mother tried to speak, but one sharp glance from her husband shut her mouth. The first cane stroke landed. Ada winced. But she didn't cry. Another one, then another. The money dropped from her hand. It floated down like a leaf and landed near the lantern. After the beating, her father gave one final warning. "If you ever step into that mechanic's shed again, you are no longer my child." She turned away and entered the house. Her mother bent and touched Ada's back gently. "Go inside," she whispered with tears. "I'll bring hot water." But Ada didn't move. She sat on the ground, picked up the 5,000 Nigerian nairas, and stared at it. Then she looked up at the sky. "God," she whispered, "why did you give me this gift? If they don't want it?" That night, she couldn't sleep. Her back was burning from the cane, but that wasn't what hurt her the most. It was her father's words, "You're no longer my child." She stared at the ceiling for hours. Then quietly, she stood up, put on her slippers, and tiptoed outside. She didn't know where she was going. Her legs just carried her, and before she knew it, she was sitting inside Deli's empty shed. Under the moonlight, all the tools were silent. A spanner, A jack. A dirty toolbox, old tires. A dusty radio that hadn't worked in years, and in that moment, Ada started crying. She buried her head in her knees and cried like a baby. "Why are you crying, small girl?" A voice broke the silence. Ada looked up. It was an old woman. Dark-skinned. Grey hair. Holding a walking stick. Nobody knew where she came from, but she had eyes like she had seen many lifetimes. Ada quickly wiped her tears. "Nothing, Mama." The old woman laughed softly. "You're crying in a mechanic's shed." "That's not nothing." Ada looked down. "I want to be a mechanic. But my father said I'm a disgrace." The old woman bent down beside her. "And what do you say about yourself?" Ada was quiet for a moment, then she whispered, "I think God gave me something. But nobody sees it." The old woman smiled again. "Then keep it. Protect it. One day, it will speak so loud, even the deaf will hear it." Before Ada could ask who she was, the woman had disappeared, gone, like smoke. The next morning, something strange happened.